Hello, everyone. Welcome to Meridia. So, continuing with our resilience series, I have another very special guest, somebody who's very close to my heart, someone जिसकी मैं दिल से बहुत ज़्यादा इज्जत करता हूँ, कदर करता हूँ. मतलब कभी कोई अक्सर टाइम गुजर जाता है, हम लोगों की इतनी बात नहीं होती, because we're all busy in our lives. But we all go through a extremely tough time in life. और स्पेशली ये जो जर्नी है पूरा यूएसएमएलईज का, स्टेप्स का, रेजिडेंसी का, रिसर्च का, फेलोशिप्स, eventually leading into attendinghood, it's a very stressful time. और मेरे उस पर्सनली सबसे ज्यादा जो टफ टाइम था उस पूरे जर्नी का, वो मेरे जो फर्स्ट ईयर था ना रेजिडेंसी का, प्रीलिम सर्जरी की, जो इंटर्नशिप मैंने की थी, इट वाज दैट वाज द टफेस्ट ईयर ऑफ माय एंटायर लाइफ. और उसमें जो सबसे बड़ी मेरी पिलर ऑफ बनी, सबसे बड़े मेरा सपोर्ट बना, सबसे बड़ा मेरा दोस्त बना, द बिगेस्ट पिलर ऑफ और सपोर्ट आई हैड, which helped me navigate, survive, and go through my surgical internship, was Rakesh Bhai, Dr. Rakesh Hegde. And I have immense love and kindness and a lot of respect for this guy, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ आता नहीं था यार. I didn't know anything about surgery, राउंड्स कैसे करने हैं, चेकलिस्ट कैसे बनानी है. राकेश भाई ने मेरा हाथ पकड़ के मुझे सर्जरीज करना, सूचर करना सिखाया. जहाँ जहाँ मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम होती थी, मैं फंसता था, तो वहाँ प्रोटेक्ट भी करते थे, छोटे भाई की तरह गाइड भी करते थे. आई डोंट नो, a lot of things he might have forgotten. I actually once read कि you might forget how someone behaved or what someone said or what someone did, but you would never forget how that person made you feel. And for me, Rakesh Bhai was that person of kindness, who made me feel comfortable when I was the most uncomfortable in my life I've ever been. So he was my pillar of support. So I'm glad. I think it's kind of fitting because of our that relationship, the first Indian I have on our channel is Dr. Rakesh Hegde. So let me welcome the most helpful senior I've ever come across, the most kind, most patient, the most sweet senior resident ever, Dr. Rakesh Hegde. Rakesh bhai, welcome sir. कैसे
Hey,
हैं?
thanks, Umar. Thanks for the kind words.
नहीं, thank you very much. You're so kind. अभी मुझे I cannot believe कि आप कॉल पे हैं और आप काम पे हैं और आप हमें इंटरव्यू दे रहे हैं.
Yeah, I take these trauma calls. I'm basically a colorectal surgeon at Cox Health in Springfield, Missouri now. Uh, जब जनरल सर्जरी कॉल ग्रुप के लिए मुश्किलात ना हो, इसलिए हम लोग थोड़ा बहुत trauma call ले देते हैं.
Very nice, very nice.
So today I'm taking the trauma call for them. So
Shagin bhai, thank you very much for doing this. अच्छा राकेश भाई, tell us a little bit about yourself. कि आप इंडिया में कहाँ से?
India mein, I'm from Mangalore, that is southwest India. After my schooling, everything, I did my medical school from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. It was a very cosmopolitan place, had students from all over the world. That was kind of nice. But I never had any intention to come to United States. So I ended up doing surgery residency at Government Medical College, Bellary. If you had known, the Bellary is a place where Sushma Swaraj and Sonia Gandhi fought election. And Sonia Gandhi ended up winning, but after that, Congress never won in that place. That's what happened. Anyway, that is a bit of a history. And then I was doing my surgery residency in India, and then I had an arranged marriage with my wife, Lakshmi, that your father met.
I'll let you fix your camera.
Sorry. I remember you saying your dad met her as the first Indian he met, right? Or talked or something like that. You mentioned to me. Yeah, it was arranged marriage, but her parents came in 70s. They moved back to India in 90s. And she was very adamant that we come to United States. That's how everything started.
अच्छा, so if you don't mind me interrupting there and quickly asking कि आपने graduate कब किया था KMC से?
KMC से I finished in 2000. And I
अच्छा.
did 2000 to 2003. I did surgery from Bellary Government Medical
अच्छा.
College.
ठीक है.
Then I ended up briefly working, preparing for USMLE in Bangalore, and ended up working in a medical school there. Then we came to United States in 2004.
अच्छा.
And
ठीक है.
first I gave a CS exam, and I ended up matching for surgery in a place called North Auckland Medical Center in Michigan.
अच्छा. ठीक है.
My wife was in green card that time, so
हाँ
that
हाँ
means I
हाँ.
had to take a visa. So what I did was they offered me J1 visa.
Mhm.
And first I got my visit visa from New Delhi, because Madras used to be those days, Chennai, Madras
Mhm.
used to be the busiest consulate, and it was very difficult to get interviews. Then those days you could, if the spots are available, you could go to Delhi. That's how I
अच्छा.
got my visit visa from Delhi.
Got it.
And when this J1 visa was offered to me, I had to go back to India. I went to India, and I thought, oh, chalo, why go to Delhi so far? Madras is so close. Let me go to Madras and get the J1
Uh-huh.
visa. That was the thought.
Sure.
So I went there. I had surgery residency. I had the contract for 5 years, categorical, everything. I was like, I'm ready. Uh,
सही है. 5 साल की पूरी आपकी. You had the 5-year categorical spot.
5 year
अच्छा.
categorical. I was ready.
क्या
So
बात है
went
सर.
to a visa officer in Madras. The first question he asked, started with the conversation. Doctor from India will never come back. That's how the thing started.
Mhm.
Then I knew where it was going to. He ended up saying that your visa is rejected. I don't know the reason.
Wow. So your J1 visa was rejected.
Yeah. So I had every 5 year contract, categorical surgery, everything in my hand. Everything is gone in 2 minutes.
I'm so sorry, Bhaijan. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But again, Rakesh bhai, there's something, now that is something I tell to all my juniors कि अगर आपकी शादी हुई है ना एक green card holder से US citizen से J1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. You're telling the
Right.
US government that I would never immigrate, or you are married to an immigrant. So
Right.
that is weird, right? You're not gonna live without your wife. So it was bound to get rejected. Even agar all our viewers, if you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, you have a J1 visa or F1 visa, any non-immigrant visa, that's not gonna fly because they're gonna think, "Bhai, you're applying for a non-immigrant visa while you're married to an immigrant." So I
Mhm.
think, but it was extremely unfortunate. So फिर क्या हुआ? What did you do after that?
फिर कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. Good thing that I had done surgery, so I went
Mm-hmm.
back to Manipal, which is my near my hometown, and they
Mm-hmm.
took
Mm-hmm.
me as assistant professor of surgery.
Okay, very nice.
And I was fortunate enough to work with one of the good surgeons there. He was a
Mm-hmm.
professor, and he used to encourage me to कुछ भी करो तो he will come and encourage, and you तो तू तो शेर है, तू करेगा करके. I mean,
जिस
whatever
तरह
he
आप
does.
मुझे करते थे, it's okay,
Yeah,
nothing,
I mean,
you will do it.
he was a good surgeon. He was just bullshitting. I was very young that time, and I used to think that he gave me a lot of chances. So I was pretty happy. My wife went back
Mm-hmm.
to United States. Her mom went and sat with her. She
Wow.
became citizen. Then she sponsored me. Then
तो आप
I
अकेले थे
ended
वहाँ
up
पे
going.
without the kids?
No kids at all that
अच्छा,
time.
ठीक है.
2009, I ended up in United States. Now I have full immigration. I don't have position.
Green card आ गया,
So
लेकिन you don't
yeah,
have residency.
correct. So what to do now? So I see I have a unique problem. I am trained in surgery. I just want to do surgery. I'm very clear about that. I'm clear to my wife.
Hmm.
मेरा पहला प्यार तो सर्जरी है.
I
Then
love
my
that.
wife came.
अच्छा, सही है.
Yeah. So I had to get into surgery, hook or crook. Otherwise, I was very clear in my mind. I'll go back to India. I have no problems. I have
ठीक है.
very clear. I had very clear intentions in mind. I'm not going to do something which I don't like the rest of my life. I'm not here
Sounds
for
good.
immigration.
ठीक है. I respect that.
Yeah. So one of my friend in med school, Dr. Prakash Gautam, he used to be my roommate in Manipal. He did his internal medicine from somewhere in New York, and he was hoping to get into cardiology. And he was working under a big cardiothoracic surgeon in Tucson, Arizona, Dr.
अच्छा.
Jack Copeland.
Okay.
So he was working as a heart failure fellow, hoping to get into cardiology.
Okay.
So he kind of told that Dr. Copeland, my friend, is a surgeon. He came from India. Can you help him?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, yeah, ask him to come. We need people to take call for surgery, cardiothoracic surgery. I went. Next day, I was taking call for cardiothoracic surgery.
From India to there?
I didn't
Direct?
have no residency, nothing, just USMLE.
Wow.
I was given. I was taking
So
call
did
for
you do any
cardiothoracic
clinical
surgery.
work? How did that happen?
Yeah,
Did you do any clinical work, Yanni?
nah, straight cardiothoracic surgery. I was taking call like a fourth year, fifth year resident. First
Acha. So
surgery
they
I
took
did
you as
in
a
the
resident to take the
cardiothoracic
call.
surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, first day I was on call, we got a case of aortic dissection. That's the first surgery I did in the United States. I was assisting, obviously. I was not the main surgeon, but I
Wow.
did that. But that is not going to take me anywhere, as you understand.
Yeah.
But
So help me understand this. What was your title? Is it medical assistant? Is it physician assistant? Is it
no,
what?
my title was heart failure fellow.
Oh, so you got a surgical. Okay, so you got a fellowship because of your
Mhm.
residency
That is
in
a
India.
non-accredited, yes.
Oh, okay.
It was
So
pure luck. That's all I can say.
no, yeah,
I
I
don't
get
think,
it.
yeah, I got a paid job.
Yeah, I get it. I actually shared that with all of my viewers that it is possible in America that you can get a fellowship without residency in US. अगर आपने residency अपने home country में की, if you have done a residency in your home country. So you were an example of that. So you got this cardiothoracic surgery fellowship. अच्छा, फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
उसके बाद तो there was some problem with the cardiothoracic surgery and general surgery. There were some problems. I don't think I, I can I can talk about that.
You don't have to.
So
That's fine.
the cardiothoracic surgeon who hired me had to
Mm-hmm.
leave.
Okay.
So he was going to be my biggest pusher to general surgery in that program, and that was
अच्छा.
not going to happen.
सही है. Gee, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay, we got disconnected. Please go ahead.
Okay, I was telling you that for my chances of getting into surgery at Tucson, Arizona, was almost nil for some
Okay.
conflict between cardiothoracic surgery and general surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not getting me anywhere. At this point, I have a wife, and my wife ended up getting pregnant. I needed the job badly. This was the cardiothoracic surgeon was moving out. That means this is a non-accredited job. Nobody is going to keep me here. I need to find something. So I ended up applying for general surgery that year, and I did not match.
This was 2012 or 2011?
2010, I did not match.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
So I said, what are my options now? Either go back to India, or there are other things I could do because of my surgery experience. I could do abdominal transplant, which is a non-accredited
Seems like we have a bad connection. So it's kind of fitting कि इतने पेशेंट बंदे हैं, इतने सिंपल बंदे हैं राकेश भाई, और मेरे पिछले किसी भी इंटरव्यू में कोई टेक्निकल फ्लॉ, कोई इस तरह के इशू नहीं हुए, और उन बेचारों के साथ 2 दफा हो चुके हैं. सर, anyhow, sorry राकेश भाई, please continue with your story. You were saying कि you weren't unmatched into 2010. उससे पहले आपको 2000 में ग्रेजुएट किया, 2004 में रेजिडेंसी मिली, बट वीजा नहीं मिला. So you went back, you trained in India, did more surgery. 2009 में आपको फेलोशिप मिली cardiothoracic surgery की, which you had to leave. 2010 में you went unmatched. So you are 10 years out of graduation, and then what did you do?
Yeah, that is the biggest flaw every time. You are a old graduate. Kind of a thing was the biggest hindrance for me. So I thought, this is not going to work out. I applied for multi-organ abdominal transplant. I thought I'll do that and probably go back to India after that.
So this was a fellowship,
I'm at
right?
Cleveland Clinic for multi-organ abdominal transplant. So then I was like, I thought I will leave the residency track.
Mhm.
I'm done with this. So I was suddenly one gentleman called Dr. Chirag Desai, who did abdominal transplant fellowship from um, Washington in Georgetown University. He came
Okay.
as an attending to this place, University of Arizona,
Okay.
and he kind of tried to tell me that, if you want to stay here, you should not do the abdominal transplant without residency. Then people will keep you for organ harvesting. They're not going to pay you enough. They're going to treat you as a kind of second grade citizen.
Sure.
Yeah, because you don't have a surgery board. You are doing the transplant.
Mm-hmm.
You are not fully licensed. It will take a very long time to get a fully licensed. It is possible to go through that track, but you'll be frustrated for a long time.
Mm.
So doing that, I kept that in mind, but I needed a job for next year. So I ended up doing a research fellowship with a guy called Carlos Galvani. He's a minimally invasive robotic surgeon. I ended up trying to do a research fellowship with him,
Mm-hmm.
but we did not click very well, I can say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he kind of wanted me to do the research forever, kind of a thing. Whenever I wanted to go for some interview, he was not happy. So
Okay.
that did not go down very well. I mean, I wanted to do something. I can't do this research for him forever. But
Yep.
anyway, I ended up talking to a lot of people, and I thought I'll give one more shot for
Mm-hmm.
surgery residency. I applied for 2011 match, ended up getting prelim surgery at Waterbury Hospital in Connecticut.
Yep. So weren't you sad that you were expecting a categorical and you got a prelim?
Yes, I was kind of sad because I think I should be. I thought I'm a big surgeon. I should have
Mm.
been given the thing in the platter. That was my thought. That was not going to happen.
So you
The
were a surgery attending in India, right?
correct.
And then and before that you lost your categorical spot that you already got. Then
Right.
when you came in 2010, you went and matched, did a fellowship that didn't pan out, did a research fellowship, didn't have a very supportive and helpful mentor, and after all this, 12 years after graduation, you ended up getting a prelim spot. I can understand your frustration. मुझे भी बहुत गुस्सा चढ़ता है यार कि क्या तमाशा क्या चल रहा है मेरी जिंदगी में.
That's true. Then, Dr. Kurtzman and team, and 2011, I ended up coming there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a superstar intern. I was
Mm-hmm.
happy.
No, not
Uh,
only superstar intern, I think you were the superstar resident quote. मतलब मुझे याद है चीफ रेजिडेंट्स पहले चीफ रेजिडेंट्स तो छोड़ो अटेंडिंग देख के पहले पूछते थे डॉक्टर हेगडे की क्या ओपिनियन है राइट उसको आर्ग्यू नहीं करना ही नोज अ लॉट मोर ही इज way more experienced and knowledgeable than any other even attending there.
yeah, it was pretty nice. But in first year, it was not so. Before you came, there were some, it was an awkward situation for me because I was a prelim intern. I was still don't have a full 5-year categorical position.
Yeah.
And attendings were trying to rate me high, but at the same time, they ask questions to the seniors and then ask you. And if you tell the right answer, you are in an awkward position.
Yeah, हाँ मतलब वो
कहीं
वो फिर
मैं
उसमें
मेरे
mutual jealousy
सीनियर्स को
hatred.
नाराज ना कर लूं.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I can sense that, right? मैं भी आपके साथ रहूँ सारे seniors, you knew more than that, and that puts you in a lot of awkward situation कि आपको पता है सब कुछ, and आप अपने ज़हन में सोच रहे हो अगर मैं ये बोलता हूँ तो मेरा senior resident, chief resident बुरा तो नहीं मानेगा. You're not very confident, you're nervous, you're thinking about all this stuff. अच्छा, ठीक, फिर keep going. Tell us what you did after that. Prelim के बाद.
So yeah, by first year, by 5-6 months, I mean, I was like, what next? I left that transplant fellowship. Now this is my life. I have to make it. By 4-5 months, by December, Kurtzman said, "Don't worry, you are in. I'm giving you the position."
Good.
So
Good.
by then I know I had to reapply again, but it was just a formality, and I got the categorical spot.
But when you got the categorical spot, they didn't let you count the 1 year of prelim that you did. You had to start at the PGY1.
The first year, correct. I had to redo the first year.
So the 5 year of general surgery residency training ended up being 6 years for you.
Correct. That is true.
अच्छा, ठीक है. तो I know कि you were a superstar throughout the residency. फिर उसके and you became the chief resident और सारा कुछ. फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ? What did you do after that?
I mean, I was hoping to do fellowship in something which is for a year, because I'm already, I spent too much training.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked, as you know, Dr. Zhang was there. He was kind of pushing us to do colorectal surgery from the beginning. So I did a lot of research in colorectal surgery, and I went to Sloan Kettering, and then as a part of rotations, I worked with Dr. Julio Garcia Aguilar. He's one of the biggest names in colorectal surgery in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up writing a letter to me that helped me match into colorectal surgery at Allegheny Health Network in Pittsburgh and Erie.
Achha, very nice. So after Allegheny, now you're working as a colorectal surgery attending.
Correct.
चलिए, very nice. This honestly was बहुत सी बातें मुझे भी नहीं पता थी. This wow has been there is a reason आप इतने patient हैं फिर. Although, right, you need to be perseverant, you need to be resilient, you need to be persistent to succeed. 2000 में graduation हुई, 2004 में US में residency मिल गई, पर आप कर नहीं सके, J1 visa reject हो गया. 2010 में again you went unmatched, और फिर आपकी fellowship हुई, clinical fellowship, जो वो खत्म हो गई. Research fellowship में you didn't have a very good mentor. Residency मिली तो prelim मिली, but eventually once you got the categorical, you found your way. Yes, it took 12 to 13 years after graduation to reach here, but I think it was I hope it was all worth it. What do you think? Was it?
And I'm definitely, I think it is worth it, but choice between staying back there and coming here, I don't know. I compare with my classmates sometimes who stayed back in India. I mean, some of them are doing extremely well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whether I would have, I don't know whether I would have had same kind of success. Here, there, it's very difficult to gauge. There are plus minus to staying back and coming here. But at the moment, I mean, my wife is, she always had green card and she became a citizen, and she always wanted to stay here. Happy wife, happy life. That's what I thought. And then,
I'm sure Lakshmi Bhabhi is happy now, right? She's happy.
Right,
she's incredibly proud of you. Well, I see all the comments and all the posts, and I'm like, wow, she's incredibly proud of you. So I think it's a blessing to have a supportive spouse as well, right? And I think she has been incredibly supportive throughout the journey. Kids ke saath and all that. So looking back, what do you think? What helped you the most in this entire journey?
I think the goal was I was persistent, perseverant, and patient. That's what it is. I'm very clear cut about my goal. I mean, that's
so you're focused.
That's
okay. So Rakesh, continuing with the interview, what hindered you the most in your journey?
I think the thing of being, one was not having the immigration stuff at that time, and then second thing is, I think, being a old graduate. Anybody who does try to come for residency after 5 years, you will be branded as a old graduate, and then your application goes for reject screen automatically, unless you know somebody, unless they know who you are. Whatever you are, that is one of the negative points.
So how did you overcome that? Contacts ke through, yeah.
Contacts. Yep. Absolutely, contacts. Yeah.
And how did you make those contacts? These were आपने जो research पे काम किया था, clinical fellowship की थी, उससे?
Yeah, I mean, Copeland's letter helped. Dr. Jack Copeland gave me a letter, and that helped because I worked there in the cardiothoracic surgery. And then we had some contacts, and Dr. Shetty, somehow we contacted him,
and he helped you. Say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chale, good. Ab mujhe ye bataiye, did you have any attempt in USMLE or any low scores in USMLE?
No, not really. I mean, it was good enough to get into general surgery.
Good. Okay. And my next question was going to be, did you have any visa issues? And I think you had a lot of them. J1 applied, you have married to a green card holder, which got rejected, or uske baad, then you finally got immigrated after 5 years. You came in 2009. So we're not going to talk about that again. The next question is, did you have any family issues that limited you?
I was youngest of three kids. I had
Okay.
my brother and my sister. I had a
Hmm.
lot of tragedies of late.
Okay.
From 2017 onwards, I went to India. Every time I went to India, it is for death of in my family.
I'm so sorry.
2017, my mom died suddenly. She was
Oh,
75.
wow. I'm so
That
sorry.
devastated. And 2019, my dad passed away. And to add to the insult, this year, my brother who was a dentist in India, was 53 years old. He
Hmm.
dropped dead suddenly. So
Wow.
uh, every time I go to India, it's for funeral for last 3 4 years.
Wow. राकेश भाई दिल से
Uh,
आई एम सो सॉरी फॉर योर लॉस सीरियसली मुझे नहीं पता था बहुत बहुत दुख हुआ आई एम एक्सट्रीमली एक्सट्रीमली एक्सट्रीमली
yeah.
सॉरी
I mean, sometimes you look back and see one of the neurologists here. When I came back, I told this one. He also didn't know he's from India.
हम्म
Elderly neurologist.
हम्म
Uh, he told me, man, we all came to this country for our own selfish reasons. That was his
हम्म
bottom statement. And he is on the almost verge of retirement.
हम्म
Uh, One thing I will say with this whole immigration thing and what I have gone through, I mean, it is my personal feeling. I mean, everybody differs with their own
sure
opinions. Uh, you with immigration, I think first thing is you will lose. You are not there. Your family whenever needed most if they are back home. One thing,
हम्म
whatever it may be, how much ever you may earn or whatever name and fame you do. Second thing is over a period of time, I thought your family or friends, every time you go back in, they have moved on.
oh yeah
Yeah,
ये पता
they
क्या
have
this
learned to
is
live without you.
yes this is a very beautiful thing that I also noticed कि होता ये है कि देखें let's say you have 100 relatives 100 friends right and you moved out of their like that picture now the 99 people are still there उनकी life they it moves on वो आपका best friend आपका best दोस्त या relatives या cousin वो आपस में फिर bonding बना लेते हैं to overcome that और जब आप आते हो you feel like an outsider राइट बिकॉज देयर लाइफ वो साल पूरा आपके बगैर गुजरता है और साल में आप 3 4 हफ्ते आते हो नाउ दे हैव टू एंटरटेन यू एज अ गेस्ट यू आर नॉट द सेम सन एनीमोर यू आर नॉट द सेम ब्रदर सेम कजन और सेम फ्रेंड एनीमोर दैट्स
Exactly.
अनफॉर्चुनेट और बिलीव इट के मैं दिस इज द फोर्थ इंटरव्यू आई एम डूइंग इन रेजिलियंस सीरीज और सारों का यही रिग्रेट होता है जितने भी इमिग्रेंट्स हैं कि यू डोंट गेट टू स्पेंड एज मच टाइम एज विद योर फैमिली एंड फ्रेंड्स एज यू वुड हैव लाइक्ड after all these years and after going through all that. Chale, I don't want to torture you more or make you more sad. I'll move on to the next question. Do you think you had any financial limitations in your earlier first decade or so? And if yes, you think how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, I had some savings from India because I was attending. They had
Mm-hmm.
something called provident fund, this, that, all those things.
Okay.
I worked in India and I had my own money, and my family supported. My parents did support me initially, but definitely, yeah. When you are in doing that research fellowship, I ended up having a kid, and then I had a wife who was not working, and it was a little bit of a financial constraint for first 1 or 2 3 years.
तो
And
मुझे ये बताइए
Connecticut, as
हाँ
they used to pay pretty good compared to other places, but it
yes
also had high taxes at the same
yes
time.
yes especially you had the biggest house among all the residents and you had 2 kids 2 big boys and so that had its own financial issues तो मुझे ये बताइए when you had your first kid and you said you were doing this cardiothoracic research fellowship फिर वो खत्म
Right.
हो गई so how did you support yourself financially did you exhaust all your savings
Yeah, I mean, I exhausted all, but I did get that research fellowship next year. It was, I
Okay.
got a underpaid in that, but still I could manage. But at least, I got insurance and stuff out of it. That
Mm-hmm.
helped. Um, I helped to go to interviews and stuff. It was a paying
Okay.
job. I was very fortunate to get paid job all the time.
So if you don't mind me asking, कितनी research fellowship में salary मिलती थी? You said you were
Uh,
underpaid, right?
yeah, first year I was getting paid 48,000 in cardiothoracic, and second year it became 42.
So I think you get around 2,200 per month or something like that, right? Tax cut कटा के. That's what my was. I got 42,000 at Stanford और मुझे भी 2,200 तक आता था.
Yeah,
उसमें
yeah, yeah.
1,600 तो सिर्फ rent होता था.
Uh-huh.
You know. तो उसके बाद I had to pay for car insurance or cell phone bill or utilities. तो बच बचा के हमारा 200 300 बचता था गुजारा करने के लिए groceries में. So I think it was pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, hand to mouth. That's right.
अच्छा, next question is कि Rakesh bhai, did you have any problems communicating in English, or how were your communication skills beforehand when you came into US at that time initially?
It was pretty good. I mean, as I told
Okay.
you, Manipal was very cosmopolitan. We had a lot of American kids. We had a lot of Arabs, a lot of Malaysians.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a global village.
Good.
So there was no problem communicating.
बैंगलोर का तो हमें भी पता है मतलब इवन जो आई डोंट नो इफ यू सॉ दिस मूवी द वाइट टाइगर इट्स ऑल बेस्ड इन बैंगलोर वो यही है सारा के जो नेटफ्लिक्स पे आई है तो बैंगलोर आई नो इट्स अ वेरी कॉस्मोपॉलिटन डाइवर्स एंड रिच सिटी तो अब दिस इज वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस एंड आई हैव टू आस्क इट feel free to answer it if you're comfortable. What is the nationwide salary range in your specialty, colorectal surgery?
It's pretty, I mean, around 425 to 450.
Okay, that's the average, right?
Average.
हाँ मैं रेंज पूछ रहा हूँ कि लेट्स से एक एकेडमिक बंदा बैठा है हॉपकिंस में ही इज सेवियरली अंडरपेड और एक रूरल सेटिंग में बंदा बैठा है अपनी प्रैक्टिस खोल के ही इज हाईली ओवरपेड तो हम एक बहुत ब्रॉड रेंज देख रहे हैं.
Yeah, broad range. Yeah, well, may go to 400 to 1.2 million.
Yeah, and even if you're in an academic setting, I think it would be more around 250, 300, right?
No.
Okay.
Average colorectal, because I did interview with these things, they will be like 350 to 400 range.
Okay.
Academic
so
first year.
Academic first year. So that's around 350. It's your lower range. Acha, now my next question is कि ये पूरा सफर जो है, now it's been 21 years since you graduated, and you became a colorectal surgeon in 2019, I believe, right?
2018.
18 साल. In 18 years में, what was your biggest challenge that you had to overcome?
Biggest challenge would be to trying to convince people that I can operate, trying to convince people that I can be trustworthy.
After being and attending in India, yes. But I'm so glad it happened, and it happened pretty well. Yeah. अच्छा, उसके बाद मेरा next question is, sir, this is the second last question. Okay, if you have to do this all over again, what would you do differently?
I would have probably, if I had to come to US, I would have planned it pretty well. Would have done it after my medical school. Would have done some rotations in United States before completing those things are all possible now. A lot of kids do
electives
that.
And stuff. Yes,
they plan very well during internship and all. They can do the rotations here and do the USMLE stuff during medical school. And try to contact. Now communication is much better. You can contact various people, get externships. You can make connection. You can get US letters of recommendations. So you write a letter of recommendations I had initially was all from India. I didn't know anybody. I didn't do any clinical rotations here. I was totally clueless.
You're right.
Now things are totally different. I mean, at the same time, now competitions are also more. As you see, there are more medical school, students in every US medical school. They are increasing. Even here, we have medical students coming. That's what I see. But
Oh, yeah,
still,
I
it is
cannot agree
possible,
more. Yep, it is
right?
possible,
But
but it's
still, it
more
is
competitive.
possible.
A lot
Yeah.
more people, if you look at the absolute number of people matching, a lot more
Yes.
people are matching every year. But at the same time, I think हो ये रहा है कि scores भी ऊपर हो रहे हैं, लोग electives भी कर रहे हैं, research भी कर रहे हैं. So overall competition is getting more and more.
Correct. I definitely agree with you.
So last question मेरा ये है sir कि any advice for people in your shoes 15, 20 years ago?
I mean, only thing is stay focused. Set your goals right. See what you want in life. Every
अच्छा.
specialty, whatever you want. So some people change their specialty and they can still excel in that. There is nothing wrong in that. But ultimately, you are the one who has to make the decision whether I want to immigrate from your country, whether you want to come to United States, you want to choose the same specialty that you want to do. If you have patience, perseverance, and persistence, 3 P's, I think you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's all.
Thank you very much राकेश भाई for sharing that. This was beautiful और seriously कुछ बातें मुझे भी नहीं पता थी. I learned about them और it inspires me. Of course, you have been always an extremely inspiring figure for me. आपको देख के मेरी ट्रेनिंग शुरू हुई थी और आपकी सपोर्ट से. You know how many times I thought कि मुझे मेडिसिन छोड़ देनी चाहिए. I'm not good enough. मैं शायद कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता. मुझसे तो सर्जरी की इंटर्नशिप नहीं हो रही. But you were a big pillar or support and helped me through the way. And now I'm like very comfortable, successful interventional radiologist. And I see that was because at those critical moments, how much you helped me. और अब मैं आपकी कहानी सुनने के बाद मुझे लगता है I was being a thankless jerk कि भाई I was a recent graduate. I wasn't 14 years out of medical school. I didn't go unmatched. I didn't lose a residency. These are the things like because of a J1 visa. These are the things you went through. And that's why probably you were so resilient and helpful and supportive at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was very nice meeting you. It was good to know you. I mean, we did have वो kebab जो आपने बना दी थी मेरे घर में. That was, I still remember those days.
Kebab or tikke. नहीं, we will meet again, bhai, and I will make the tikkas and the kebab again. Okay?
Sure, absolutely.
So, Chale, thanks a lot for coming, Ji. It was a lot of fun chatting with you once more. I really appreciate that you are on call, sitting at work at the hospital in scrubs and giving us this interview. And I am incredibly proud that you happen to be the first Indian, my most helpful senior ever giving me this.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. Come
Chale,
and visit
thank
me.
you. Will do. Thanks a lot, Rakesh. We'll chat more some other time. Bye.
Okay, bye.